I really enjoyed the nostalgia trip with the previous revisit episode, to the point that I think I'll maybe make this into a short series. So yes, we are back in Genesis again, trying to fix up and modernise this very old, very broken colony. I'm comparing this revisit to starting up an old abandoned factory. There's a lot of broken machines around which we'll need to repair. The more we repair, the more the factory comes alive, until eventually this grand colony is once again thriving. But there's a lot of fixing and troubleshooting to do before then, which today is starting with these bloody builders. I worked out why they had stopped working from last time. They were hungry, so naturally I gave them bread to eat, which by the fact they are still stood around here means that wasn't a good enough solution. You see, it turns out that because we moved them immediately into a level 5 house, their food requirements became a lot more sophisticated, and bread don't cut it. They want high saturating shit like stuffed peppers, sushi rolls, lamb stew, all items that are way beyond our scope at this current state, especially as we don't even have a cookery to make them that food yet. So here's the first problem for us to solve. How do we provide them with a decent meal so that they get back to work? Well, we actually have a temporary solution for this. Golden carrots. Cheap to make, highly saturating. They will do for now to get the builders back up and running. But in the long run, we need the cookery operational. We need it to prepare some of these golden tier meals for our ready-to-eat long term. Which meals they prepare, however, are going to be dependent on the type of crop that we can grow in the colony. And when I say we can grow, I mean what the farmers can grow. So yeah, we are gonna need to get the farm and fields back up and running, as well as construct the cookery build from scratch, and also get the restaurant rebuilt. A lot to do, and we need gold to start things off. So down the old mine we go. There is a larger looming issue which I'm aware of that may come to haunt us sooner than later, and it's got to do with our current population size. Here's some handy gold though, but we have enough on our plates to deal with just now, so we'll worry about this issue if and when it happens. That was just enough gold there for us to start growing the stuff, and here's a couple of golden carrots to get you started. We need to continue upgrading the restaurant build, and then we can place it over the old schematic of it, as well as the farm, which has already been set to be upgraded, and the first death of the new colony. Perfect, a visitor on a cactus, couldn't care less. The 4 house blocks are now all level 5, so we will need to come in and deconstruct them so we can pick them up. Then we'll get them placed down over the original ones, just to get them out of the road. These carrots are good, but they sure ain't cutting it. These builders are ferocious in their appetite. Okay, excellent. I think that's the farm, now level 5. Let's deconstruct it. Then we're going to simply place it over the original farm, and we'll get one of our builders to come out then and repair this for us, or technically build it. I do want to rip this farm down eventually and replace it elsewhere. We'll get the cookery put down in its place, but for now, just to get some food up for the colony, I will keep the farm here with the fields beside them. Although to repair the farm, this is a lot of materials required. Surely the farm is intact enough that those items should still be within it? Clearly not. Let's just go scavenge some materials from some other builds. Oh, this guard tower is ideal actually, because we require these brick stairs too, as well as the banners. Hay bales, pumpkins and melons, I've certainly got that covered. In fact, I think I pretty much have everything he's going to require then, with exception of some carpets and some more cobblestone wall, which I now have, so that's him 100% supplied. I see the restaurant too is now level 5, so we will deconstruct it, then pick it up, then get it stuck over the original. And unfortunately, it 2 looks as if it's going to require quite a few items in order to build it, which we'll simply worry about once requested in. Alright, perfect. That's the restaurant, and the farm build's going to be back up and operational. We still need to construct the cookery build at some point, and also worry about what type of crop that we can grow here. The biome we're in is a windswept hill, with a taiga beside us and a plains to the east. I think those are temperate biomes. Let's get over to them and break some grass. I keep forgetting that I have elytra. Well, we got out a fair selection of different crops from all of this. Garlic, durum wheat, eggplants, tomatoes, bell peppers and onions. So that's not too bad of a selection. Let's see what the cookery can make us. In fact, before we do so, let's make up a field. We need some leather. Grand, that's enough for a field, and also enough for us to make a backpack, which we will upgrade immediately. Twice. And once we get our hands on an ender pearl, I will make up a feeding upgrade, so I never need to do that again. Anything to be lazy, I'm all for it. Let's see if we can place a field a bit better than that. See if we can place it on the block in front. Okay, I'm doing a really stellar job at this. That's a lot better. So what type of crop can we grow? Onions, garlic, cabbage and eggplants. Durum wheat. Sadly no tomatoes or bell peppers for this lot. I think a hand pie might be the best food item to make, so long as we can get our hands on some brown mushrooms. Maybe pottage as well, although I'm not sure what tier of food this is. It is a silver tier item, which can be eaten by our idiots, and that might be easier to make than the hand pies, although they would prefer this. We could potentially grow some brown mushrooms if we got our hands on at least one of them, and eventually the nether miner will be able to collect us some. That would make the hand pie. Right, you know what? Let's get into the nether. If I recall right, this portal should take us pretty much straight through into a fortress. So yeah, maybe chickens. Maybe we will find some easy brown mushrooms around here actually. Red ones are nice, but not what we're after. And I'm in danger. And found some. All we require is one of them, and now we have an infinite source of them. So let's get durum wheat, garlic and onions growing in these scarecrows, and that is practically all the ingredients required to make the hand pie. I think Dariel has finished with the farm build, and indeed we have a farmer inside it. Let's assign them some fields to use. 1 of 5. So nice to see that we can start off by growing 5 crops. There's the hoe and a couple of items for you to then grow, and we're immediately out doing something. Right, time for the cookery build, which I'm going to place right beside the farm and their fields, and whatever building that is. Maybe the chicken farmer's hut, and we'll get Dariel then coming out to build that for us. Let's get Dariel supplied for the cookery, and Emmeline with the repair job. There is quite a lot of cobblestone on that list there, so let's get to mining up a few pieces, and just in case nasties do spawn down here, let's get the place lit up. Once we get the mine back up and working, they can maybe look into fixing that up. Oh, also I've just realised I mined up stone, not cobblestone. And a first for this colony, we require the architect's cutter, and then we need to make some full cobblestone panels. No more just vanilla blocks. Dariel is now 100% supplied for the very easy level 1 cookery build. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't need to remove anything, but that's fine. Emmeline with the restaurant build, however, is a bit of a different story. We are going to require in quite a lot of wool and different colours to make these floating carpets. We do have a shepherd's hut, and indeed quite a lot of sheep within it. Oh, and chickens. So that's a bit helpful at least. We'll get some wool out this way, although not entirely sure why we have so many black sheep. Okay, holy crap. But let's get to shearing anyway. I'm sure we can recolor even the black wool. We should have enough beetroots grown that we can make the red dye with them, and in fact the beetroot soup as well. Let's maybe start off with the beetroot soup, of which we need some bowls, and we need 2 beetroot soups. I'm a few beetroots off, and we'll just grab a few poppies from over here to save waiting on the beetroot. And we need more clay in order to get some more botany pots. Yet another idiot pricked themselves to death. We need white paper extra thin frame walls next, which will require some paper. I am growing some sugarcane, but only just. We've got a few stalks growing here. I'll grab them, and I believe that the plantation should have been making us sugarcane, bamboo and cacti. Maybe not. Oh well, let's get some on the grow. I need white dye now, so hopefully we've got some lilies of the valley over in this flower field here. I think we may have everything but them. No, they were just hiding from us. We got a couple. That's a few of those plants now put into botany pots. We basically just have to wait on them growing. So in the meantime, how are we getting on with the cookery build? Ethan. We are 12% done with the build, but we are once again hungry. Back to making more golden carrots then. How are we getting on with the new crops then, farmer? That is still old wheat we will get rid of. And I see we have durum wheat on top now being grown, but no garlic being grown yet, as far as I can see, or onions. I'm pretty sure I gave you some of those new crops, did I not? Yes indeed I did. He just needs to pull the finger out basically. And this should be everything then for Emmeline's restaurant repair work, so she should get this finished off pretty quickly, as will Darielle, who is now over 60% done with the cookery. And there's the restaurant there. Perfect. And I see that we have Ethan maybe wanting to be the chef. Oh, nope. This person took the job instead. Sorry, Ethan. Let's get this building set up though, so fuel will be coal, and let's set a minimum stock of hand pies then. We'll get a stack of those prepared by the cookery once we get it up, and once the farmer actually grows us those crops. I tell you what, let me go in a bit deeper, see if I can find any skeletons, and we'll get some bone meal out for fertilizer. And right above us actually, there's Darielle finished with the cookery build. Perfect. Alright to you, I've got a few pieces of bone meal on me, go use that as fertilizer. And as for the cookery build itself, we have Emily as the chef, I believe, which again we'll need to assign a fuel for her to use, and we now need to supply that chef with all of these ingredients in order to make the hand pie. Well, I can certainly supply a stack of brown mushrooms and potentially some raw mutton. The rest of those items, however, we are simply just going to need to wait on this idiot growing for us. Well, that's one machine now pretty much back in operation. We'll get these idiots the food that they desire, and that should keep them working. So, on to the next problem.